Cliffhanger. What's the cliffhanger?
Boy.
The preparation.
Is you did some dastardly shit in the preparation for war. He participated in a blood sport underneath the bar.
Yeah, but this one is not as bad because, like, you
They
know.
attacked you first. They drew first blood.
It's half.
Yeah, they drew first blood. They came in here, you know, knowing what they know.
You killed bad guys.
Yeah, they're all bad guys.
More or less,
And the
I
ones
guess.
who weren't bad guys were killed by bad guys.
And then those bad guys were killed by badder guys.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Slap that on your conscience. I hope I don't forget this plan.
Alright, man.
Boy.
Let's write it down.
That actually scares
Write it
me.
down.
Let's write it
That
down.
actually scares me.
Because you're gonna have to report this to Attica and Gabby. They're gonna be very confused.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll put here, so lore, dragons with gold and Bjork. And then move 4 ballista to the town square. Because that's where the gold and stuff's going. And then we're rigging up, honestly, I guess 8. Is like 4 versus 8 like ridiculous? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that like crazy more time, or is it kind of like whatever?
I think it's whatever because I don't know. I don't know.
It'll be adjustable next time as well. Nothing's set in stone until the dawn.
The thing is, I'm willing to, Cody, expend a spell slot in order to make my device. So hopefully that makes up for time.
I figure we would just discuss it as it happens. I mean, I'm sure you have something cooked up to make it work.
Rigging up 8 ballista, and then we'll tell them we did 8 instead of the 4, and they'll probably just be happy. And then we. Is that everything for the battle? Oh no, I taught honor
Next
grip
time on Bara'Kin Dred, Part 7.
Part 7.
A battle of Torfritz.
We taught honor
It's
grip
marked
how
for Wednesday.
to
It's marked for Wednesday
dragons.
because the 17th is Willow's birthday. I am not sure if this day will happen. We will see. We will play it by ear and make it push to next week. If this one does happen, it'll probably be short just because the Wednesday thing with Gabby and everybody. So we'll see.
Okay.
It may just be a battle, and then Edge gets some instructions. We flip. You guys fight. Edge does some things.
I better remind everyone that it's Wednesday, not Thursday.
Wait, we're playing Wednesday next week?
Yeah, it's the 17th is Willow's birthday, and I'm just not even gonna fuck with that.
Yep, agreed. All right, that works for me.
Yeah, we should throw into the messaging Raven when upcoming that it's Wednesday. That is in fact Wednesday, because it's hard to notice here. There's a lot of words.
Yeah, you might want to. I don't know if we want to start like an at everyone for these or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Some sort of alert, you know, for people that aren't here and stuff like that.
Yeah, probably definitely should.
Yeah, good shit, good game. I honestly went in that super unprepared. I came up because I was like,
straight into the bar. First guy you talk to, hey, I'm with you, huh? Whoa, really gambled it all.
Well, it's either this guy knows or
you have to credit song.
Some other dude's like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You know?
Matt, am I missing anything? Lore dragons with gold and Bjorg. Move 4 ballista to the town square. Rig up 8 ballista. We taught Honor Grip how to grapple dragons. We'll make sure that happens. And his men. Make 1 card of provisions for the oldest, sickest, and youngest.
Yeah. I'm also gonna put 8 men in a pocket dimension to jump down from.
Well, yeah, I came into that
I'll write that
completely
down for
blind.
you.
I just said Tenno just because it's the first thing that popped in my head.
Yeah, that's a good
And then
it's on the forefront of your mind.
and then when you asked where I'm from, and I said out of town because I had no what I was gonna say.
Cool.
Because I remembered that.
It's funny parallel to reality. It's like the whole concept of you kind of becoming more like him, and then you just literally use his name as your this is your, what is it, like Rob? Let's say in like Teen Titans, it's like Robin, and then who's the other guy with the X?
Something like that. I think it might
You
have
know
been like X or like Red X.
Slade Jr.
Yeah. But also I was like, oh shit, I probably need a backstory. Why the fuck would I care about being with these people? I was just like, okay, well I'm not from here, so the dwarf thing's completely out. I just want to see the world burn.
Hell yeah.
That's nice. That's what they want. So
yeah, because I remembered
like
the interrogation,
crazy,
and they were just like, frozen dead, everything dead. I'll roll with that.
That sounds
well,
hard.
it's extra special, right? Because I did some fun research with this. I researched like a lot of cult speeches. So it's all about just elevating the masses. Like this is just supposed to be the general entry for most people. So it's like you're good, you're strong, you're powerful through us. You're only powerful through us. The world despises you. Through us, you can be great. So it's like the message they're putting out is, you can be chosen. But then from you guys stepping on the gas and interrogating a man, the true motivation is destruction. So you saying that to him is honestly like him being like, "Oh, this guy extra gets it."
Yeah.
You want to come into the inner? You want to come into the inner circle?
I kind of figured as much from the interrogation that this is some dank shit. They don't even really care about the king.
In this interaction, I mean, you do get to see there's a layer. There's like the initiates, which are just people that are coming to the meetings and like I'm thinking about trying to do this. And then there's people that show up to be like, all right, I know what I'm here to do today. I'm here to fucking fight, to join. And then there's people that are like, fuck this, I'm not fighting that fucking monster over there.
Yeah.
You thought Darren was a fucking jobber.
Dang, he got.
He wasted like his first 3 turns while invisible.
That is an interesting concept, though. If someone turns you invisible, doesn't inform you, it's like I can't fucking see.
Well, you can see.
You can see. You just can't see your hands.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. He can see. I just mean like he can't. It's weird if you're not used to fight. If you're not used to fighting invisible, I assume it would be strange fighting invisible.
Yeah. It's like where's my sword at? Where am I?
Where are my fucking feet? Where are my fucking feet? As he trips over a bench.
Yeah, you'd probably need to be able to see
silvery barb bestow upon him advantage. Caves someone's skull. What did you do?
What were those rolls? You had like 4 or 5 crits.
Yeah, that's really good. That was nice.
Like a lot of them weren't even advantage ones too. Like one of the random dudes got one, and then
3, 4.
Yeah, it's wild. Good rolls.
You had 5, 6. You had 5 crits.
Yeah.
Dwarven thrower special,
This was such a breath out. This was such a release, like a release intention, because like there was so much like vitriol from the Bara'Kin Dred party marching, where Tharion's like, I hate this guy. We could be doing better things than this. I don't agree with this. And Tobias is like, I don't trust these outsiders. I don't believe in you guys deserving respect. But then, as soon as we sit down at the battle room, we lock in. We're all like incredibly capable individuals, and we're all in it together.
I think using, like I said, rewrites in terms of still maintaining the natural script. It's like, okay, well, there's this concept with Honor Grip does not trust you guys, and But he does not trust you. He already doesn't trust you because of what you represent from the king.
Yeah.
But honestly, there were two turns because Bjorg coming and talking to him mid-March, which he threw in, that changed some things for me in terms of the shift with Honor Grip of like, it seems that Bjorg cares about these people. Okay. And then getting into Torfritz as well, he has the same reaction you guys have, where it's like, it's really bad here. So despite my bigotry towards these people, or my animosity towards these people, let's see what they have to say. Now it's real. It wasn't real in the council chamber. It's real here.
And it's so funny because Therian goes through the exact same thing. First on the march there.
Everyone grows up.
Yep. Everybody puts that shit aside because we're all in this together. We all want the same thing.
And if we don't make a good plan, we're all gonna fucking die in the morning.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's the same arc for Therian because on the march there, Therian like kind of deduced he marched the entire way through. He cares about his people. It's not some front. And then when everybody gets to the town and sees its state, you know in Mulan, they're singing during their march, and then they come up to the village, and everybody just shuts up. That's it.
I'm glad.
Good way to paint that.
I'm glad the tone I set was what was captured. Grim.
Yeah, grim.
Mm-hmm. Then immediately, like, everybody's heart is on their sleeve. It's like, we need to help.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta be up in like 4 hours.
Yeah.
See, man. Thanks for playing.
Yep.
Later, man.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Later.
Later.
That was a fun one. I mean, if Billy was here, it'd have been a funner interaction with a lot reaction from Baron Glowhammer.
Yeah, it would have been great.
But it kind of is better that he wasn't, because kind of coming in now, I mean, I gotta kill that guy, and it's like now Daniel actually has a separate relationship with this person that was built without Billy seeing it, so Billy doesn't have any bias.
That's true.
And then I'm like, yeah, we gotta fucking kill this guy, and Daniel's like, please don't. No, he's my boy.
Daniel.
He's my rotten soldier.
Unless he watches this all back. What are the odds that Billy's watching all of these?
I still haven't finished last week's. I kind of like play it on the drive around and working, and then like eventually, you know, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, like today was 6 hours basically. Well, it's 5. Started like 9ish. So, but still, I mean, it's a lot of game being played.
Really quick, what did you think of the thumbnail? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, that was just Droop in his little. That's Droop right in the story.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make it look like.
Chronicles.
That's my background for Goblin's Reach anyway.
Right.
You all don't have any agency. It's all Droop.
The one thing I'm gonna change is the stuff I put in the bottom right, because the timestamp when I'm looking at it on my phone like covers it up. So I'm gonna throw the session number, I think, on the top right, and then the part number on like the bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, did you watch the shorts and stuff? Because we haven't talked at all. Like, I was just curious if you watched those.
I did watch the shorts. The shorts are funny.
Awesome.
I like how you edit it. You edit it and like zoomed in on people that were talking.
Yeah. I like the camera work.
Matt's
And,
was like,
and the good
you haven't
face.
seen the last of me, and just runs with the tree line. Vision almost killed me. I can't get down.
Yeah. Dude, I was trying to make that into a YouTube short, but then like it was like it's just a little too long. Like I can't condense this down any further than what I'm already trying to condense it down. Like I just gave up on it basically, and like the last 3 minutes is one clip.
I want a short of you waking up and freaking out on Therian and picking up Amber.
Nice.
Little interaction. What the fuck did you do? You son of a bitch.
Nice. I made a note of it. Because the things I'm doing, I'm not so at least for our D&D stuff, I'm just gonna make it for like us, and it's not for like YouTube, if that makes sense. It's on YouTube,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's
there's
for
music
us.
over top of it the whole time.
Yeah. So if you have like things like moments that you want me to clip, like for anybody, let me know, and then
I
I'll do
will
that.
say, I mean, the full group always has these moments where they're special. When that's why I kind of don't like it canceling, even if there's less people, because like you get something different out of less people that you don't with six. Because with six, it's feel like okay, I'm trying to make sure everyone's doing the same thing, so all your interactions are a little bit shorter. But when it's just like boiled down, it's like you really get to kind of chew on and savor moments. Like we literally spent an hour in the bar to the point where I was like, okay, I got to start bringing my characters in just to get them moving. Because it's like, I know you guys will sit here for another fucking hour if I don't get you out of the door. And it's like, we don't have the time. Let's get to this, you know? And then, so it's like, but it is nice to be able to do that. Because, you know, if it's only the three of you and the three of you are talking with one another, I don't feel bad to be like, hey, someone's over here doing nothing. We got to get to them, you know?
Yeah.
And then with it just being the two groups, I feel like the jumping back and forth between you guys and Edge was like, okay, I got to do this with a certain amount of time. All right, this is something happened here. He had enough fun. You guys do something. And then I already knew where it's like, well, where it's set up for was like, okay, if Gabby and Billy were here too, then it's like, okay, well, they're going to have this planning session. And I'm like, I don't know how engaged they'll be with it. But it's like, but then it's just because it's just you, because it's just, you know, you guys, Matt and Brian. I'm like, oh, they're going to chew this up. They're going to have fun with that. They're not going to care. So, yeah.
And of course, it's way easier to balance kind of spotlight between two rather than between 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah.
When it comes to a whole discussion like that.
Dude, I'm pumped. It is a cliffhanger for me. In my head, I was like, I'm super excited to like do this fight.
And this is a throwback to something I said 2 years ago. That's crazy. 2 years ago to the 2023 winter special with the Yetis. I said, here, there's a planning stage. It's like this is kind of like a rough draft for some ideas that I have. Where it's like, what if you had an opportunity to plan what was going to happen before you knew, you know, because you know it happens all the time. You go into a fight, it's like the fight's here we go, I can go. But it's like, well, if you have time to think about it, you'd plan it, and you'd have a somewhat of advantage going into that fight. So it's kind of like that. Well, you got to plan the Yeti attack, and now you get to plan this defense against a opposing siege.
Yeah, it was fun trying to think about it. And it's really nice when you are balancing back and forth too, because it allows me to like sit on it for a minute.
Yep. Then we actually get to like continue thinking
in got to do this,
frozen time.
Like coming back and you're like, I have the rope trick. It's like, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because that actually is, you could actually set like a pretty devastating sneak attack. A bunch of soldiers dump out of a hole and jump on something's back, you know.
I really liked the vibe I was getting out of Honor Grip through like just different moments where you can. It just more solidifies honestly with me that I don't really think it's him. And I'm just getting the vibe from him too, though, where he's almost kind of leaning in. Not like just by fact, it's not really like. It's just very. I don't know. It would make sense because he's gonna look at it from a military perspective, and I think what he's seeing out of us is like a ability to be what we say we are, like dragon scholars. He's like, okay, like that's kind of checking out, but then he's also getting validation of us just being like naturally like humanitarian in nature.
Yeah.
So like I said, I honestly planned this session to be a little bit more vicious, but I said it to you too because I said it earlier, literally 5 minutes ago. But it's like whenever you came up there to talk to him, I was just gonna start reading. You guys are here in Torfritz, and you're like, I'm gonna go talk to him. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Yeah, you go up there and talk to him, and it was actually a pretty good conversation. I said, yeah, that was a good talk, Brian.
Yeah, I
Like,
appreciate you saying that
after
too.
that talk, I was like, okay, I'm gonna change some things right here on the fly because he felt what you were saying in a different way.
That's cool.
And then, like I said, arriving in town, the mood shifts, so I'm able to keep a lot of the original script. And now, because of your conversation, now it makes sense.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There's still so like last session where you feel like you put your foot in your mouth and you got burned. Now you did something that paid off that helped you.
Right.
That's it. That's the regret and redemption
that's the sweet spot.
That's the sweet spot. Yep.
That's the falling and getting up again.
Well, what was easier about this though is it was kind of my own dynamic and it was my own foot. I didn't have anyone like there wasn't an influence. It was, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't it wasn't like other dynamics to it. It was just kind of whatever I was doing and presenting and thinking and saying without having anything else influencing it.
When you're looked upon by like a council, like seated in front of you in a row, it's that's
pressure.
not there's too much pressure. There's no way to work your natural charisma.
And they're all basically against you because of the king's decision to bring these foreigners in to help the problem. It's like there's gonna automatically be like these people coming in are undermining our jobs by being here. So then you're already going to get a natural resistance. I mean, except from Bari at the start and then like Flatborn talking to you guys. But from the old heads, they're like, fuck these clowns. And then with you saying your name, it's like, kill them in the street. And then now it's like, okay, well, they have to respect the order of their king. But then, like I said, the cool parallel as well, I mean, I'm sure you heard from if you heard his name.
Yes, I was just about to say this. Theldrick Onyxborn was having the same sentiment, where he's also spiting our name of like, oh, the king brought in these draconic scholars. It's like the same vein of what the council people should be thinking.
But the very interesting thing about his speech is, I mean, you guys don't know what happened, but you hear it, is he says, the king has failed to pest, severing us from the foreign border. He's talking about, called Onan, all those people. And then even now, this Arrakis brings foreign dogs to our holy palace. This Bara'Kin Dred, led by a boy that holds with him Theroden blood. That information was spoken into the world the previous night.
Mm-hmm.
So that information has already gotten to this man.
Not supposed
to. That hit with me too.
And everyone that's that is potentially guilty was within that council. So
they also know. They also know that we're on a march to this.
Yeah, they also know that. So it's like these people are they're right there with you. If you're not ahead of them, they may be ahead of you. They are ahead of you.
Well, and Theldrick did say too, like that even like he is the head of the snake of the cultists, and so that leaves it to believe that whomever it is, right, he has a master. So that leaves me to believe that it's probably a council person who is the master.
The one who heard all that information just last night.
So legitimately, like I really don't think it's Honor Grip.
I don't think it's Honor Grip. And not just for meta reasons, not just because Honor Grip is with us and that just happened in the...
I like your all's theory. It's like, well, Honor Grip is showing concern for the people. I like Matt's theory. It's like, if he wanted to kill us, we would have camped.
Yeah, something.
There'd be why would there be any sentiment for non-hostility? I like these ideas you guys are thinking about. There's no direct evidence, but I think you can kind of grasp at this point if it was Honor Grip. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's really not. I'm 100%. I'm more sure it's not Honor Grip than I am sure that it's not Barry.
Yeah, like any more evidence I need is
Honor Grip is a son of a bitch, but he seems to actually really fucking care.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes back to what I was saying, I think in like the pre-session, where when I think about it, I do lean more toward it being someone who's been around, like not a new addition.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, Honor Grip is one of the old guards, like he's a family name to it. But Barry is new, and then
Yep.
Flatborn is also new.
Yep.
And I've totally had more red flags with Shadowback than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially through our first meeting, like our first true engagement, like one-on-one. Like definitely showed like that they were withholding information.
Yeah, and like the only like I guess the only things that clear Shadowback in any way is that he did less actions that damned him, which a smart infiltrator would disguise.
100%.
Like, of course we have the least amount of dirt on Shadowback. He wants it that way.
So without Cody kind of like helping us, tell me, Matt, your opinion of Flatborn, because I feel like I know maybe the least amount about Flatborn compared to the other people. So like, what am I not seeing?
Yeah, let's see. We did have a very private lunch with Flatborn and a very candid lunch, and I mean, Flatborn really feels like he is not at all subscribed with what the cult intentions are. He is almost all the way for the kind of Arakish leadership, and he wants to help that leadership through, like as a very genuine member. I mean, it could be pretty words, but I mean, there's not really. I feel like there wouldn't be a reason for him to just come up and deceive us when he doesn't even know who we are.
You have to
Or
think of
that
the
we're looking
title
for anything
too.
like that.
Agriculture and land holdings. He is aligned with the Arakish. It makes sense. There's been prosperity. I mean, this is a challenging time, obviously, but there had been prosperity, obviously, since Theroden.
Mhm.
And like you're saying, they're not subscribed to the cultists. So the idea would again go back to Shadowback because he is someone who has stayed like they uphold the dwarven heritage. So there's going to be resentment, you know what I mean, toward this new lineage that has taken over since Theroden. But then the weird part to me a little bit, which I guess does make sense because like the Theroden name is very smited, but it is curious that there would be so much disdain toward the old dwarven king if everything is in lieu of like upholding dwarven heritage.
Yeah, so the most interesting thing is the truth of the dragon cult is, I mean, they have disdain for the Arakish bloodline, who is lineage, who is kind of like tramping out history, the 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 old traditions. But they also have disdain for the Theroden bloodline because
Right.
they're the ones who lost. They're the ones who basically ended the Dwarven campaign with King Theroden losing. Thus, they worship the dragons as the true kings because, well,
They
I
can
guess
bring
they
the dwarves back in
want.
power.
He says the Bara'Kin Dred led by the boy that holds within him Theroden blood, another failed king.
Right there told me immediately that yeah, there's resentment. Like, so let's say the head. So let's put it in full picture. Let's say the master that he's referring to, that Theldric's referring to. Let's just say that master is Shadowback. It makes it really interesting because he like upholds the dwarven heritage, and it makes me totally think that you're right, Matt. Where I do want dwarves back in power. I don't want Theroden dwarves back in power.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of the Arakish. That's for damn sure. He wants to be in power. He wants to be the king. It won't be the Theroden bloodline, it'll be the Shadowback bloodline.
And it's going to be a bloodline laced in draconic blood.
Well, that's the other thing to
because
now
they're
consider
going to.
and to start thinking about is if there's this worship, like there's this tie to Shadowback wanting to become king and wanting to have like that proud dwarven blood in charge of Zupest. He's obviously probably communicating with the Frozen Death, which would make sense. As a keeper of Zupest, he would be more knowledgeable about Draconic language as well. Like, of the four, whom would have the greatest odds of communicating with a dragon?
Yeah, and he would be the one most I mean, as the lore keeper, and also the one who wants to hide this from everyone else almost. This history between King Theroden and the Frozen Death. He feels like he would be the one likely to obsess over it.
Yeah,
to
that's
actually
true.
pull meaning out of that history.
So now the question though is, what deal has he struck? Because the dragon's gonna do this for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The dragon wouldn't send their blood to fight and sacrifice without something to gain, and it's gotta be something like really good to gain.
Mm-hmm.
So what the hell would that be? This is Bjorg and Therion talking at night after the meeting.
This is Bjorg sitting on a turret wall, and then Therion is tinkering on a ballista.
Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
Hand me that spanner.
I love that. Seriously though, what would the dragons want? What would they have to gain?
All you have to do is survive to continue your investigation.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like we gained a lot. That's so good because just last week I was like, what the hell kind of progress can we even have now? And this week I feel like we are full of progress.
Yeah, we followed up a huge fucking slip on a banana peel with a field goal.
You took your foot off the banana peel, but you still got one foot in the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I still have repercussions out there. But I agree with Matt, because I was coming into this like feeling a little bit like down, but I'm coming out of this one feeling pretty good. Like
that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And I feel like this really does. I feel like we can contextualize Bjorg a lot with these events, where when it comes to a political climate, no way, that's not where Bjorg thrives. That's where his talking doesn't really work because, frankly, he's not smart enough for politics.
Yeah,
it's too
true.
stuffy. It's too
Bjorg
stuffy.
speaks with action.
There's too many, there's too much juggling of hiding cards and doing this and controlling that. Once we were out on the march, Bjorg could be just frank, and that's where his charisma is.
Ironically, to like Barry,
plays,
it's like funny because it's like, yeah, I'm good in like the smaller environments, but I'm like Barry doesn't think I'm honest at this point. That's my opinion. But that's literally the thing that traps me in these council meetings is this inability to not be honest.
And the funny thing is, Therion is also really bad at politics because he hates nobility and stuff like that. It's the reason why he left Arenal. They're very stuffy. They do. His family is involved in politics. He distanced himself from that. He learned the lingo. He knows how to hold himself in a court or in a meeting. But if his disdain for it boils over too much, he's gonna ruin it.
What's been so cool about recording these things too is I watched back the council meeting, and not that I rewatched the whole thing multiple times, but there are several moments where I could rewind and like, and sometimes maybe there's like background noise, like Daniel's coughing or something, and you kind of miss something that Cody said, and then you watch it back, and it honestly was still kind of hard to decipher, but you're able to kind of get more context that maybe you were missing in that moment. And then also like the bigger picture things, like the gates, for example, I was really struggling with comprehending what the hell was happening with that. But watching it back and like I was able to place it in my mind better of like the logistics of how these gates are working and why they're not working and all of that. So it's been really helpful being able to refer back to these videos.
Yeah, it's like the best form of note taking.
You guys brought up the thing you talked about last time where it was like, well, can we just go through it? And the king basically explained it's like, I need your help here. If you go through it, you might not be able to come back. We don't know how these things fucking work. You know, it's like if you leave, you may abandon us, and I need you here.
Yeah, because you'd basically be abandoning the mission.
Yeah, it's like, well, now you gotta walk back across the mountain range. You're not getting back here tomorrow.
And then there goes Zupest.
So it's like a thing of like, well, I'd like you guys not to just skip forward and not resolve a problem.
Mm-hmm. No, I talked to Matt. I don't think you were here like at the very beginning, but I was telling Daniel this too. Like Matt and I talked a little bit, and I was telling him like, because I was kind of feeling about the events. Like, there's a part of me that wants to be brash in my decision making, and really that brashness was seeking out Barry, and like I had an idea of seeking out Barry and having her come with me through a portal, like having her help me find the portal, go to the portal, like that. It was like a crazy idea and something completely random in a sense, right? But Matt gave me great advice of, you know, like read what he just put. We're going on a march. Like that's what's planned.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like just kind of organize, like prepare for that and like make that fun. Like this is Operation Torfritz. Like that's what our focus is. So it kind of it was I really like that. I appreciate that, Matt, because it helped me decide like I did still want to talk to Barry, but I wasn't gonna do any of that like ridiculousness. But yeah, it just kind of helped me like reinvest myself and for future tense, like to stay invested in like the plot that's being laid out for you.
Yeah. Because you get choices within that. I mean,
There
are blanket areas where it's like, okay, what are you doing? And it's like if I say like a team RP moment, I'm like, what are you doing? You can do whatever you want. But it's like within the realm. It's like that's what I mean. Like whenever Mikhail is telling you guys, like here are the basic rules for the game. Try to keep 2 parties and try to stay secret about it. Like, but then if you violate a rule, then it goes off of a kind of an unbeaten path where it's like, hey, you're in dark waters right now. We don't know anything could fucking happen. But if you stay within that, then it's like you can do anything within that parameter. So if you're like, we're in Glangjaal, we're in the inner territory of Zupest, those are our borders. You know, if you leave that, you're in uncharted territories. And it's like, well, there has to be some, because it would be odd, because, you know, it is a collaborative story making game, but it's like, if you're watching a movie and the story is over here in this building, and it's been the story's been in that building for, let's say, an hour and 10 minutes, and the story seems to be going to resolve in that building, and then all of a sudden the main character just leaves the building, and it's like, well, what about all the stuff that was set up inside that building? It's like, I know we're over here now. It's like, Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we wrap up what we're doing in there first? It's like, yeah, we're over here now. It's like, well, that doesn't really make any sense narratively. But you want to achieve something because it's like, like here's the thing. It's like there's a pivot to a problem. It's like, okay, a drama has emerged. Amber has revealed delicate information to Bari, and you revealed your name. That's why I told you in that message. You're like, I fucked up. I guess I fucked things up. I'm like, you didn't. You're alive, so you only fuck up if you die. If you died on that balcony, you fucked up. You decided to do something reckless. You're being punished for it. I'm giving you a chance to not die. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like if you decide to die here, then yes, you fucked up. But if you're alive, then you haven't fucked up because most things can probably be redeemed. Most doors are not shut. But ultimately, the tension is what creates the story to be interesting. So with all these crazy things happening last time, your character's coming into this being bummed. It's like we have stuff to redeem, and now you coming ahead, and now it's like we've won something. We've made some headway and some ground off of our previous failures. Now it's like that. The feeling of tonight can only happen because of what happened last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, my two thoughts from that is, like, for one, I think just as like you're always as a DM and like I've DM'd Matt, you're DMing now. All you can ever do is like every session is take things and learn from things and just try and become better in that role. And I try to do the same thing as a player because there's been a lot of things like I can recall back when we were playing in the apartment, like how I played D&D back in the apartment is so far out of reach of how I play now. And like I can remember in those days, like I was legitimately watching like YouTube videos and stuff to like understand what's expected of a player. And I don't do that now, but I still reflect on like the session itself and how I can improve as a player to just make it more enjoyable. And for me, because that'll make myself feel like I'm having more fun too. But then the other part where it's like things happened really heavily last session, and initially, like when I was messaging you, like I hadn't rewatched it yet, and I definitely was feeling pretty shitty about like how I played. But when I rewatched it, I didn't have that same feeling. I felt like everything happened very organically. I felt like it wasn't really my decisions that were like pushing this chaotic thing of me announcing my name. It wasn't really like my doing. One thing I didn't like is that like I didn't want to speak out, but I ended up speaking out because I felt a need to as a player, where I think that was wrong. It was fine that I like felt like there was a gap of space to talk, but I think I needed to just do what I felt like I needed to do, which I didn't do, so that's something to improve on. But what's been neat is in this session, there's a lot of payoff already because it was a really neat moment when it was with Edge. Let me get the name, sorry. It was, I have my notes. So when Theldrick had that awareness, right, that oh, like they brought a Therod in here basically, that's such a cool thing. Like that adds a lot of weight to it.
That changed. Yeah, that changed the script.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I kind of like that it changed in that way.
And it gives me a thing because it's like
that's credit to you because you're like I gotta rewrite a bunch of shit, and that is fantastic rewriting.
Yeah, and
because it's gonna be impactful because it doesn't affect you guys. It's something that can tell you later, but it's like you hearing that on the other side of the world, but just as a player, just as the player playing the game, you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's neat that was mentioned.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then
and it even feels like that felt like a complete like mistake from us almost, and yet this following week it feels like we've made some progress hearing that.
Yeah,
it's like because like on the meta side you're learning it's like okay, so it's we've been told it's someone in the council, but this is the first time you've had direct proof in some way that it is for sure 100% someone within that council chamber, because how the fuck would they know that?
Yeah, and that definitely makes me believe wholeheartedly the master is a council person.
Mhm.
Um,
Even if Therian and Bjork don't quite know that yet.
Right.
but
yeah,
at the same
that's
time, you are getting enough, at least emotional evidence, and going off of this person's character that you are almost eliminating somebody,
Exactly.
which is just as important.
So that's
And
two
that builds,
things.
yeah,
Edge is getting info and we're getting info.
and that
And
builds yet
that's
another
what it's supposed to be.
failure in redemption, because I mean it's a failure on Therian's part to be so emotional to just say this Tobias guy sucks, I hate him, and I don't want anything to do with him.
I mean, he does suck. He did suck.
But it's being redeemed now, and we're growing. We're growing as people.
And in a way, it is interesting because it shows his resolve, or not resolve, it shows his almost support for the king. For
For the people.
It shows his support for the people, because what it really is like people from foreigners came to this country to do something that we should be handling, that we are not allowed to handle because we're being ordered not to handle it. I hate them. And then he finds two people on the street that killed a dragon, and they're like, you guys actually do work. I want you guys to go investigate them because I don't trust them fucking around in my country. So, and that's what that entire situation is. And then I was going to say, in the council chamber in the previous night, basically all that was just an aftermath to the event that happened in the palace square, and then the setup for your guys' one-on-one opportunity with Honor Grip and this moment going to liberate, which would have been 2 towns, but the choice wouldn't have been both. It would have been, which one do you want to do and how do you want to do it. It was going to be a lot more. There was going to be a lot more engagement on your part from the start, being like, here's what we have at your disposal. We want to bring all these soldiers and all these people back. You shouldn't be in 2 places at once. It was basically going to be Honor Grip was going to go one way, and then you guys were going to go the other way. But it's something Therian said, which I'll have to rewatch it, but you brought up a fact of we shouldn't be taking these people back because of the wall. So then the deal changed to, okay, what about one town? And then now you're going together with him instead to gain information. So that adjusted. So saying a thing of like Matt's advice would be like, okay, go along with it because that's the way we're going. But it's like, no, you can affect the events that will happen by saying words. And that's a direct example of that. Like it drastically changed.
There's been many examples of that in this session.
Yeah. It's like what you plan to do can change as long as it's still firing at the same target. I'm gonna say that. It's like as long as it's going the same direction, you can affect a lot. But if it's going a completely another direction, it's like, hey, I don't have anything over there.
Yeah, you're out of bounds.
You're not aiming at anything.
Yeah.
You gotta aim it. You gotta at least aim at something.
Yeah. So.
And I can work with it.
And again, that's up to us as players to make sure we're doing that.
And I can change things. I can change things on the fly, but I have a general idea of the direction that we're going. And so far, we're still, like I said, you guys have not done anything to. You guys have not done anything to change the overall direction. What I had said before you showed up, Brian, is what you guys have done is stepped on the gas.
Right.
Things have accelerated because of your actions in a seemingly negative way. I mean, it's.
But after the session, it doesn't even feel negative, which is which is really cool and it really relieving. It just feels good.
2 parts of it, right? Because at the end of it, you were able to save some face with Honor Grip by your actions and your words and your knowledge. So that relationship potentially has been mended in some way. We'll have to see how it pans out still. But there was still a large negative fallout with your relationship with Bari.
Yeah.
Because of what unfolded. So it's like there is still a side of like, well, there was still a give and take here. It's like, yeah, you having the one-on-one time with Honor Grip proves it is probably mendable, but now you're in a situation with Bari doesn't trust you, and you're gone for 3 days.
Dude, I'm not kidding when I tell you that I probably spent I spent a lot of time on D&D this week because I probably spent 10 hours doing YouTube shit for it, and then I legit spent an hour writing a proposed, like a proposed conversation with her. And I was even thinking about like how I need to handle it. So the idea is that like I would want her to speak first, to have like an open door, and let her like release her frustration, let her know that like she's being heard, and then I want to make a point to not try to like justify why I did what I did, and like don't explain reasons of like why I did what I did, like until I've like validated her feelings. Like, that was important. Like I want to validate her feelings and let her speak what she wants to say. And then when I get the opportunity, like I have a whole thing wrote out to kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if it'll work, but it's just understanding that I've made mistakes toward her in terms of like I am honest and there's a reason for you to have doubt, and I can't make you not have those doubts, but I can at least give you an understanding of why I've done what I've done, where that's coming from, and that I do, and there's a huge part of it in it too that kind of just states that like I do feel something from her, that she's awoken something in me, and if that's true, then I should have just been honest with her up front. But there's a small part in my letter too that just kind of puts it bluntly that she is a suspect. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I can be, like she's not, it has knowledge of all of that now. So it's like I had to have some type of hesitancy in what I was saying to protect the people I also love, which is Bara'Kin and Dred. So like I'm not gonna put them out on blast.
What we're learning is Bjorg did not long rest.
Right. I got a fake long rest.
So many rough drafts of this letter. There's a trash can in Bjorg's room filled with crumpled up pieces of paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
That's what's been cool too, even through the council meetings. It's like I'm trying so hard to like make it be. It's like unique because it's not like in real life where I feel like so often, like even when we're just talking right now, everything's just off the cuff. And what's unique with D&D is you can kind of take an off the cuff thought and you kind of flesh it out a little bit before you actually say what you want to say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that there probably needed to be. I mean, I feel it because it's a game, so you're like, okay, where you push for the next hook. But I mean,
I did that last session.
There's only been 2 council meetings. There's been one meeting, the first meeting you showed up at, and it got cut short because there was an attack. And then you got an opportunity within the city for each person to go and talk to, not each person, but a member of your party went and talked to one of the council members. Like you guys went and talked to Shadowback and Flatborn. Edge also talked to Shadowback. Amber and Hugh went and talked to Honor Grip. Bjorg has clearly been communicating with Bari, so that you guys had like an additional one-on-one with all the council members. And then it's like, okay, well, but then it was interesting because what Matt had said, it's like, I kind of forgot about the investigation. I kind of got lost in the overall problem with the city. Like, yeah, there is actually, regardless of the cults being a problem, we're being attacked by dragons, so that is the current problem for me.
Yeah.
And Sue just got shot, and I'm emotional. So it's like the questioning, the targeted question the king maybe expected you to come in with. It was like, this is a murder investigation. Don't make friends with these fucking people. Find a way to figure shit out. Wasn't on the forefront yet, but probably after this return home from Torfritz will be more of like, okay, We have some leads. We have some suspicions. Let's apply pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like, it's interesting because, like I said, there's only been 2 council meetings. So the first council meeting and the second council meeting was an emergency meeting after another dragon attack. So it's just been every time you've entered that council chamber, it's just been
high stakes, man.
So it's been so volatile. You're
Yeah.
going into like a pressure cooker every single time. People are fucking yelling at each other.
It's like I said, Cody. Your like council meetings, like talking politics and stuff, they're not boring. They're so filled with interest and investment and shouting.
And that's what I mean. That's why
Each one of them is
I'm
so
trying to put
dynamic.
effort into what I say because I want it to actually like match like what your sentiment. I want it to match like the drama and like I don't know, just it feels very real.
It's barely politics right now because this is not a normal day in and day out. I mean, the country is at war. There is suspected foul play of the king's death. I mean, like I said, I mean, you had mentioned it. Brian, you said something. I was like, "Oh, does Honor Grip know that the king? Does Honor Grip think that the king just died?" It's like, no. I mean, Mike Mikhail explained the only people in the country that know that the king was murdered.
Well, no, not Honor Grip. I was talking about
somebody.
I can get the name. Hold on.
But you saying that, but it's like they'd already explained.
I was talking about Underminer and the people of Torfritz.
Yeah, they do. The people of Torfritz, they think the king just died, and they still have not. They do not get the information because the king's speech that happened the other day, he tells Glangjaal, my father was murdered by these cultists. So he now reveals to the city there's a problem.
Then the question becomes, how quick does that word get to Torfritz?
Or if does it, because it doesn't
or
matter.
Or does it?
Yeah,
but there was word that there was a raven sent to them in regards to like provisions and stuff.
They sent them a raven in regards to, we're coming to evacuate your town. Get your provisions ready, get your people ready, get the soldiers ready.
So if they gotten that would have been after our council meeting.
Yeah, I mean, they say it during the meeting. They're like,
so then they definitely would also know about the king's death.
They may or may not. Oh, the king's death. It may
because
not
that happened before our council meeting.
You're right, but it may not be pertinent to add in that message. Like that doesn't really matter. It just
for me, I'm thinking about the time frame of.
It's not the
how long does it take to get information to Torfritz, and if within a day's time you can give them a heads up, that there's people coming and this is what you need to start preparing for our arrival. Well, shoot, man, like considering it's been days now since the king has been murdered, they all know. They would have to know at this point. Because clearly information can get to Torfritz within a day.
Well, the information that the king has been murdered in terms of the Glangjaal Republic would just happened yesterday. It happened yesterday.
Okay, that makes sense. But that's still also before the plans were made that they got word of.
Well, yeah, but I feel like the missives for provisions and evacuation happens before general news and during war.
Yeah, like I mean, if I just want to be candid, the message sent to Torfritz is basically just a declaration from the king. Torfritz is being evacuated. General Honor Grip will arrive tomorrow evening. Prepare the supplies, prepare the people, prepare the soldiers to evacuate.
Yeah.
Oh, so the king's been murdered.
They're not taking, hey, P.S.
It makes sense. Well, no, like for me, it kind of makes sense where it's kind of like, it does and it doesn't to me, but it's kind of like it's a public announcement. So the public announcement to them, that's obviously something that they have to, like the king needs them to be ready for us arriving. So it makes sense that they would get that information that way.
And at the same time, the problem with the cultists are only a problem in Glangjaal. That's where the king is.
Right.
It's not a problem in any of the other inner territories because it's like, why would that matter? I mean,
Right.
maybe there's some dealings, but I mean, if their goal is to kill the king is there.
One question I when I rewatched it, I remembered that I had asked you. I didn't get an answer, and maybe because you can't give it to me. But the original plan was to evacuate the 2 cities. So what of the other city at this point? What's
It's still
happening?
there. It's just there.
That also needs to be evacuated?
No, the only reason the evacuation is not. Well, maybe you guys have it in perspective now, knowing that what you see what these places look like on the territories, but it's like the entire evacuation was never focused on getting civilians out.
It was
It's
for me.
It's rearmoring, but the point of it is we want to rearmor the city with soldiers to defend the city from itself. But then also saying that it's like, well, if we pull the soldiers out, we have to evacuate the citizens because then there's no one there to protect the citizens. So it kind of came hand in hand. The whole plan was I want to evacuate these 2 cities to bring back the maximum amount of soldiers that we can sacrifice, not sacrifice and like kill them, but like, lose these 2 areas. We're willing to sacrifice these 2 land holdings to then rearmor the city. And then with Therion's words to Honor Grip, it became, okay, we will just take 1. Because Honor Grip spouts back and says, we cannot sacrifice Halthum. It's a central point. It's doing the most work. Which was his retort. And then like each council member had some kind of input. Like his point was, we shouldn't be sacrificing shit. We should be grabbing everyone together and going towards the fucking mountain. Is that technically a dumb decision? Probably, because that's not a very smart plan. That seems like, I mean, you guys just walked 8 hours through the snow and you kind of came on top of that like, this is ass. And then you times that by like probably 10, you're probably going to die from the elements before you reach the base of the mountain. And then you got
and that was
Shadowback's
Flatborn's idea, or not Flatborn. That was Honor Grip's idea, right?
That was Honor Grip's idea. He didn't want to pull back anyone into the city. He wanted, because he talks to Amber and Hugh, and he says there's plans coming up, and he's talking about he's potentially getting past a plan to counterattack, and then because of the attack in the square, that destroys his plan, and instead the new plan becomes evacuate these cities, bring your soldiers back to the city. And it's like, fuck me, my plan just got fucked. And then
so that probably is weird for Tobias then, right? Because like you're saying, Tobias is hearing Baor talk and is getting this understanding that I have a care for like the people. Let's say, in Torfritz, where his initial mindset wasn't even about the people of Torfritz. It was about provisions and army.
I mean, it was the same. Now that in retrospect, it was the same plan, the same sentiment as Therion.
It was.
To go to the Mountain King and defeat it.
That's funny, because you guys were similar. I was the only one that wanted all the people to come to Glangjaal, which is what's happening.
The past 2 sessions have really showed a ferocity and mirrored opinions between General Tobias Honor Grip and Therion Dalric. It kind of are the same.
Yep, because also we both share the sentiment that we didn't want to pull back soldiers, but in different ways. Because Therion's argument that changed the plan was the tactical stratagem that a war is more about territory than it is about anything else. So in sacrificing territory, this is without Therion knowing how bad these settlements have it. In the cold look of things on a chessboard, you don't want to sacrifice territory. So if you were to pull back the soldiers to sacrifice territory, then they're all grouped in a place where they can't fight a war. There's no war to fight in Glangjaal. It's an insurgency, and
But
an army is not how you fight that.
and it becomes a very difficult argument when you say this pawn on your chessboard represents 500,000 lives, or 500 lives, women and children, and you're like, okay, maybe I don't want to sacrifice that. Maybe I am okay with retreating that.
What's funny though, like,
because
what?
that I'll say the interaction at the end where he's talking about, you guys are bringing up like, is there any way we can? Because you kind of are suspecting if we walk back with this civilization, not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone can accomplish the walk that we did. They're like, I want to get some of these people on carts. And it's like, we got to sacrifice food. You sacrifice food, you sacrifice Glangjaal. So
Yeah, that
it's
was a tough decision. It's like, Bjorg, you just make this one.
And ultimately, it is still a hard decision you made because you're saying pick the sickest, the oldest, and the youngest. Still knowing that there's going to be some people in that gray area that probably don't make it, but it's like, at least we're helping. We're mitigating we're mitigating the least amount of damage from happening, but there's still going to be some loss.
But in a way, Bjorg believes in the people because if we take the weaker and the older, that leaves the stronger behind, and there's sort of a faith that they can make their own marching band and try and forge out to Glangjaal.
Well, they would be going with you. Everyone would be going together. Like a little exodus.
But they'd be walking.
That's like the biggest thing too. I made that separation. I was like, women are walking. They're strong. Like, they'll be all right. I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the sickest, the most elderly, and the youngest.
People that cannot physically make it.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, I understand that. Like, I even said it. Like, not everyone's gonna make it, and I get that, but we're doing the best we can.
And I deferred that to Bjorg because that is a king's decision to make.
You stop it.
That king's decision was made. But yeah, we out here.
It's crazy that was anyone sharing my sentiment? Because I don't remember that when I was watching like the replay. Because I was talking this whole time about like theory, and it makes sense, and Flatboard makes sense. You know, it's like they're looking at it just from a strategic mindset. I feel like I was the only one that was saying like you need to give word to the people so that they have the choice. Like they can fight, they can flee. You know, whatever they want to do. Like you need to give them the choice. We need to do what we need to do. Like we need to do everything we can for the people. And it's like we're actually doing that.
Because information will only go so far, because I think what people would need is, like, one thing, physical security, and two, leadership, because there's not that many things that people can, you know, if you send word to, I keep forgetting the place we're at, what it's called,
Torfritz.
Torfritz.
No, it's in the Adventurers Guild, Torfritz. If you send word to Torfritz that the king has been murdered and there's dragons, that doesn't help them.
They just panic. They're like, okay, great, it's fucked there too.
Yeah.
Now we're screwed. Now we're getting attacked from the front and the back.
It's like, you know, what do we do to survive that, though?
No, that makes a lot of sense, because it's like, imagine if like America was under siege and like they took out Miami or whatever, and then it's like, okay, but then what if they like took out Washington D.C.? What hits a little different? Probably the capital. So Glangjaal getting fucked up too by dragons? That's the capital. Like, oh no.
Yeah, you say that to the inner territories, like we've lost. We already lost. Then it's over. But I was gonna say, Brian, I appreciate you pulled back on something which I didn't expect you to do, because you were talking about. He was talking about setting the terms of like we have 20 soldiers to utilize, and he's like, getting 30 or 40 healthy of the 50 soldiers are still alive. You saying, oh, they can fight, they need to, and then Onagrid basically being like, no, they deserve to rest, and we need them in Glangjaal, and it's like my king has given me 3 directives: to bring the soldiers back, to bring the people back, and bring the food back. I will not fail on any of these. It's like pretty blatant that Honor Grip wants to succeed in his mission 100%. There is no sacrificing any of these goals.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That whole engagement.
And
Because I had an idea, but then when I heard what he said, I had like respect for that.
yep,
And
it's so perfect that we didn't fight back on that, because that gives more respect across the entire table again.
It does.
And then a thing with that too is like, going in, like I said, it's supposed to be in like a somewhat of a living world. Like the main NPCs have feelings where I jot down notes about like, okay, this is the interaction with that, and this is how they would feel with this, and it's like I'll have a chart where it's like, this is what Honor Grip thinks. Like if we have a moment, and like this is what he's thinking, this is his emotions and feelings, and how he's generally reacting and how he's behaving, and I can cut to that, I can jump to that and pull from it whenever you're talking to these people during certain scenarios. So like whenever they arrive at town, it's literally like he's given news from Cor what's his name? Corfus. He's given news from Corfus. Like, hey, I got some bad news. One, the Commander Beasthorn, who's basically in place to command, be in charge of the 100 men that was here, he died this morning. And since the 2-month tour that this regiment has been here, we've lost 50% of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like General Honor Grip hearing that is like, all right, I'm already not bringing back 100 men. I needed to bring back 100 men. I'm bringing back 50.
50, yeah.
And only 40 of them are capable. So it's like I'm bringing back 40% of what I promised my king, and then he's going to be in front of him and be like...
And all 40 of those are also mentally fatigued, to put
destroyed.
It nicely.
I mean, what he says, what Corfus says as well, is like the dragons have attacked every single morning for a week. So at the time where you show up, they have fought 7 days straight against some amount of dragon invasion, and then we show up. So the morning we walked out of Glangjaal, they were fighting. They gathered that pile, buried their dead, and then you show up at like the night, where it's like their only peaceful time, and it's the coldest point of the day. So they're like, it's shit. It's freezing now. It's nighttime. We can't see because it's dark. And then when we wake up tomorrow, we're waking up to hell. So it really is a fucking hellscape in Torfritz and seemingly potentially the other inner colonies.
And that's another area of growth with Therian again, where, he was talking about the whole pure strategic standpoint of the Holminster Gambit or whatever. Like, so Therian was against pulling back from territory, but as soon as he sees this place, no, this isn't a cold strategic thing. We have to help these people.
Yeah, if your goal, well, that's an interesting thing bringing up a chess match, because it's like, yeah, if your goal is to make it so just at least the king survives, then yeah, you should do it, and you should sacrifice whatever you take, whatever it matters. But if your goal is to have the king survive and the kingdom survive, you can't just sacrifice all your pawns.
Yep.
You need to play a different game.
What's weird to think too is
this is not a game.
There wasn't word back to Glangjaal about the Torfritz attacks. So
Yikes,
what makes me really worried about that is assuming then that, what's the other city's name? I'm blanking on that one. I need to write it down.
Holholm.
Holholm. Yeah.
Holholm. Well, so
the idea is maybe they're under attack too.
There's some information that Honor Grip says to Amber and Hugh when they're meeting. Honor Grip says there are only 40 soldiers in Glangjaal. Everyone else is out there. There is no help. So maybe Honor Grip is getting messages, but it's just like, I can't do anything.
Right.
So that's why he's like really gung ho to go in this morning of like he says the beach is like our brothers and sisters have been out in the cold for too long. We're gonna bring them home. So it's like, yeah, this is something. I guess this is progress because even if they wanted to send help, they fucking couldn't. There's no help to send. The army's spread thin.
And that's the amazing thing about Cody's NPCs. How you say they really are a living world, and these are living people. And when I look back in retrospect of this session, through the lens of Honor Grip, it colors so much about.
Yeah, it's
Why is
blatant.
a dickhead? Why is a bastard? Why is a piece? Why is like rough with you guys? He's fucking fed up because this whole thing is. He wants to go and fight. He wants to go and help the people that are out there, but he has been told and ordered by his king, we are to hold these lines and hold the city. And that's from the old King Colwyn, and then he was killed, and then the Kareem takes over, and Kareem, suspicious that his father was murdered by council members, keeps his father's plan and then turns down the entire council's decisions to do anything because he doesn't trust them. So the entire political stabilization of the country is in turmoil. The country's not moving anywhere. It's literally just as frozen as the landscape is. And everyone's pissed off at each other. The king doesn't trust them. They fucking can't get their plans across to try to help because the king's not hearing it. Honor Grip's fucking pissed.
And then in comes Bara'Kin Dred, a complete like mystery factor, who has not had good impressions throughout many cases. I mean, in the meeting, Therian goes, "Yeah, I agree. You shouldn't go out there because dragon checks, because the pawns are in perfect position for territory."
And then Honor Grip hears something like that and is just like, "What are you talking about? Like, this isn't fucking." These are people.
Meanwhile, Honor Grip himself is getting the missives from these towns about how bad it is.
And Honor Grip has been saying since day one, because you guys were on his ass about like, oh, Honor Grip's stealing food from the refugee camp. Mm-hmm. And Honor Grip is saying it is much worse out there than it is here. And now you see it firsthand. It's like he wasn't lying. Yep. He wasn't lying. And it's hell out here.
And Honor Grip marched the Bara'Kin Dred that he really like.
He marched the Bara'Kin Dred with really... knowledge that I'm a Therodin.
Yep, that too. It's all going worse and worse. And so he marches out here with the Bara'Kin Dred that he disdains.
Yeah.
And he's probably expecting like really like complete vitriol. He's probably thinking that Bara'Kin Dred is going to come
What's
in
that mean?
and try to do things their own way. Like
screw him over. We're gonna if we don't like him.
Vitriol it means like really bad blood between people.
Okay.
And so like he's probably coming up here expecting when we hit Torfritz, he's probably expecting Bara'Kin Dred to do things like in a really distasteful way. And so he's probably expecting to be like, okay, you guys, you don't get to do things your way. We're gonna do things my way. And he probably thinks we're gonna butt heads. It's gonna be a big headache.
Yeah, like maybe going off of the council meeting, maybe you guys show up in that meeting chamber and Therian will be like, maybe we could lure the dragons with women and children.
Yeah.
And it's like, you shut the fuck up and get out of this council chamber.
But then it's like finally, as a moment of relief, like the whole thing like Bara'Kin Dred shows off their competence and their compassion,
which he's not been able to see because, like, despite Bjorg's amazing speech from the first council meeting, to a man like Honor Grip, it's going to come off as pompous because you're saying a lot of words, but it doesn't mean anything because it's like that sounds nice, but how does that help our problem right now? Because if you're here, you're hired to fix a thing. Tell me how to fix it. And this is a redemption part because here you are planning a defense and you're explaining what we're going to do, how it'll work, how we're going to fix it. And that's what Honor Grip wants to hear. He wants to hear how shit plays out, not people saying things of like grandeur of like, this is how this is going. This is what this actually means. It's like, I don't give a shit what it means.
And no one is interested in questioning or disrespecting Honor Grip's ambition to really actually save everyone. They respect that. They don't try and like say, hey, that's unrealistic, blah blah blah. They're with Honor Grip on this. We'll complete the mission fully. You said it, we're on it.
We are here. The goal is for you guys to know this man, and I think we have succeeded in doing that.
That's cool. Good. That's awesome.
Because like there was actually even a turn with Amber, because Amber was like, oh, this guy just shows up, says you work for me now. It's like, it sucks. And then when he meets him on the wall, he's like, oh, you're not really horrible. And he offers some tea, and it's like a lunch, and it's like, all right, this is my plan. This is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking was going on. I don't like it.
And that was... It's crazy, because, like, I mean, this is still why I love Cody's NPCs. That was the effect that happened with every single counselor we then kind of met one-on-one.
Yeah. They're just people.
Yeah. Going to the library.
One of them's not to say they are, but
Matt, how pissed is he gonna be when he finds out that you and Amber are Bara'Kin Dred too?
I don't know. It depends on whether we like fix the reputation of Bara'Kin Dred.
I think the one thing that's for sure is we need to almost hope that like Hugh or Amber isn't like telling him really anything or giving him like anything, because he hasn't like sought them out yet. Because the idea is whatever when he comes to find that we're all Bara'Kin Dred, everything that he was hearing, oh, like Bara'Kin Dred, yeah, like Bjork, Tyrion, Nat, they seem pretty good, like coming from you, and he's gonna be like, what does it mean now? Because you're literally a part of Bara'Kin Dred. Yeah, so like then maybe he'll like have this like disbelief and like this lack of belief in us actually being good.
Yeah, he's gonna feel attacked that he was like played for a fool.
It's all fun and games until we start the next session with the scene you didn't see because Gabby wasn't here, where he explains the plan for Torfritz and he says, but that is our job. Your job is to keep an eye on Bara'Kin Dred. And then it's the missing sentence that says, I'm going to play nice with them. And when they go to sleep at night, kill them. Of course, you would have told you that, and that's not what happened. But yeah, it's an interesting thing. Because now here you are, you just probably rebuilt this relationship with this man. So then you reveal now a distrust again. And
exactly. Same thing with Barry.
Yeah. It didn't work with Barry.
So maybe Bjork should try to learn from his mistakes and try to let sleeping dogs lie.
Or maybe he feels that it is a necessary thing, no matter how much it may sting.
Whatever you decide to do, I will write for the next part that unfolds from it. But I gotta go. I gotta get to sleep. Thank you all for playing. I'll see you all next time.
I had a wonderful time.
Till next time.
I hope next week goes
Wednesday,
even though it's a Wednesday.
It'll probably be shorter, but I think it'll still be good.
I'm ready for our battle. I'm pumped.
All right, y'all. See y'all. Bye.
Later.
Bye. Good night.